Hello, I'm Carolyn Blacksotier, and welcome to Kaleidoscope, your window into the vibrant world of arts and culture in Harford County. Here, we celebrate the artists, performers, and organizers who bring creativity to life and help our community connect, grow, and thrive. Let's get started. In Harford County, photography is more than just a hobby. It's a community. For more than a decade, Harford County Photography Group has helped creatives of every skill level find their voice, sharpen their craft, and see the world through a different lens. Joining me in the studio today to tell us more are Ray Perez, President of Harford County Photography Group, and Wendy Miller, the Group Secretary. Welcome to you both.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I have to admit, this is new. Your group is new to me, but you've been around since when?
2011.
Okay.
We were established in 2011.
What inspired the founding of the group?
I think what it was is there was no local photography group available, and there was a bunch of photographers that were really interested in trying to get a group together. So actually one of the first presidents that founded the club is actually now the president of the Maryland Photography Alliance, which is a conglomeration of 24 photography clubs throughout Maryland.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the club. What if I wanted to join? Beware.
You can.
Okay.
We would love it if you did.
Tell me a little bit about the club's philosophy and how people can get involved.
So, you know, there are many photography clubs, right? We're the only one in Harford County.
Okay.
And I think that based off of what the other clubs do, we're one of the more active clubs available. We do a lot of outings and everything like that. But our main focus is on 4 different pillars, if you will. It's going to be explore, learn, create and connect.
Right, terrific. Okay, well, can we talk a little bit about those pillars and how you managed to do that? And Wendy, you've been a member now just what, for 3 years or so?
Right.
And I have to ask you, before we go on to the pillars, what made you want to join the club?
So I find photography challenging because there's so many different things to learn in different directions.
Yeah.
And I was trying to learn different new things and get some creativity into my life. And this absolutely has been beneficial.
Oh, terrific. Okay, and community into your life too as
Yes.
well. Okay, so let's start with those pillars.
So we'll start with learn.
Okay.
Right, so once a month we hold a seminar where we have a speaker come in and we talk about techniques and talk about processes. And we do that at the MedStar conference room. And then from there, we usually get about 20, 30 people show up.
Okay.
They talk about photography, and then after that, we have like a little social event after that. So we do that. We also do workshops. We've taught at the Harford Artists Association. So part of our members have taught classes down there for photography.
Oh, nice.
And we also teach our workshops to our members. So we had a couple workshops this past couple of months, and we're planning a few more workshops coming up.
So then explore is another pillar.
It is. And we go in, field trips basically is what I call, because we will go to Susquehanna State Park or various different locations around the state of Maryland and beyond. We've gone to Assateague and, there's
all kinds of beautiful places. I mean, we're looking at some of the photos that places you've all been. So you keep mentioning we
as a group.
We as a group. And so I guess that folds into your third pillar, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Connect.
Yes.
So connect is really good because what it is we appeal to anybody from beginners to people who have photography businesses. What it is it builds more of a community. And if you realize that there's a lot of people that have no idea about what's going on, a lot of people that have that knowledge. So the group has been really great about communicating and mentoring and showing people without being overpowering or without being too technical.
Yeah.
So people who don't know much about cameras or photography are actually doing a lot of learning from that. I've seen a lot of growth in our group just based off of the new people that are coming in.
And have you found, because of cell phones and everybody can just kind of whip out their cell phone and take a picture, that there are a lot of people who would like to learn more about how to take a good picture,
Exactly. And we don't care what the medium is. If you want to do film, if you want to do cell phones.
My cell phone?
If you want to do a box camera, we're all in for that. And we'll do workshops and we'll have techniques and again, show people how to use those particular tools.
Yeah.
Because the best camera you have is the one that you always have on you.
Okay, well that is very true. So how many people do you have in the photography group?
So there's 194
94.
overall, and there's 56 as gold members in our
terrific.
program.
And then you spend a lot of time together. You're teaching, you're learning from each other, all of that. But then you have exhibits and different activities that kind of culmination of some of these activities, right?
Exactly.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, actually, we're going through getting our works exhibited, and Wendy has been a key part of that. So I'll let Wendy go ahead and take that one.
Okay.
So we have a photo contest once a year, and we have winners from the contest, and first, second, third, and honorable mention in 3 different categories. So that ends up being 10 images that are being recognized in our exhibits. And currently, we're at Falling Branch Brewery on an exhibit, and we're getting ready to, in July, be in Harford County Public Libraries on a rotating schedule.
Super. That's great.
So we're looking at some other locations, and we're very excited to get everybody to see how amazing the people that are in our program and talented they are.
It's wonderful. All right, so we're going to put up your website. So how do people, so let's say again, I wish I could take a better picture. How do I go about being part of your group?
Well, you go to our website, and in our website there's a membership or a sign-up location on there. So what you do is go in there and you sign up, put your information, email, and then you get access to the website. All of our events are posted on our events portion, our explore portion. All of our workshops and everything are on the learn portion of the website.
Okay, and you may have mentioned this to me, but do you meet on a regular basis? I just want
Yes.
to go over that one more time.
Yes, so monthly we have a meeting every second Wednesday of the month at MedStar, and that's for our seminars. And then monthly we have a single event, our field trips, if you will, that go out to different locations depending on what it is. Now those are the 2 that we're actually chartered to do by our bylaws, but what happens is we have most of our board members take their time, their personal time, and they come out and they come up with different events, more creative events that brings more activities into our group.
Wow,
so for instance, last year we had a total of 42 events throughout the year.
Really? Oh my
So
goodness.
between learning and exploring, we had 42 events, which is almost 1 a week.
Yeah.
And
All right.
that makes for a lot of opportunities.
All right, well, we want people, you've got a lot going on. Thank you, Ray and Wendy, for coming and talking to us about your terrific photography group.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Well, few gardens in the world enjoy the acclaim of Ladew Topiary Gardens, internationally recognized as one of the world's top 10 topiary gardens and America's finest. We recently stopped by to see what's blooming this spring and summer, so join us as we shine a light on Ladew Topiary Gardens.
Ladew Gardens was created by Harvey Ladew, who came to Maryland in 1929 and purchased a place to fox hunt. He was from the North Shore of Long Island, loved the sport, and was looking for an area that wasn't quite as developed as his home in New York. When he came down here, he bought a 248-acre farm, fixed up the house, and expanded it to house his beautiful collection of English antiques and art, and then created 22 acres of world-class topiary gardens. One of the core themes of Ladew is art. The living sculpture that Harvey Ladew created, the topiary, and the wonderful arts programs that we have established based on that have grown from that over the years. This year is very special to us. It's the 10th anniversary of our Art in Our Gardens program. Art in Our Gardens brings 2 resident artists to Ladew every year, usually a sculptor and a painter. Last year it was a sculptor and a photographer. This year we're delighted to have Justin Roberts' sculpture and Jed Smalley's paintings.
The mission and the principle of Ladew is very in keeping with what an artist does. It's very about communicating with people, and it's about opening up forms of expression, and Ladew has a personality. Some of the aspects of my work relate to Justin Roberts, whose sculpture is outside, and he works with natural elements as well. He's kind of a nature landscapist himself, and right now they have some of his work appears like sort of mushrooms, but the linear quality of all those reeds and fibers is a lot like my dribbles and lines of paint. I make these things, as you can see, there's sort of a dribble technique going on here. So the paintings are on the floor in my studio, And I'm over them with long brushes and cans of paint and all these different colors. And I always begin, at least in the last 10 years, with some idea of a landscape, something of nature, whether it's a landscape or it's a close-up of foliage, creating patterns and stuff. But what I love about the style I've sort of arrived at is that the paint starts to take on a personality and expression of its own. The mission and the principle of Ladew is very in keeping with what an artist does. It's very about communicating with people, and it's about opening up forms of expression, and Ladew has a personality.
Art is central to so much of what we do at Ladew. The gardens are works of art with plant material. The sculptures of the Topiary are the key element of what we have at Ladew. Our Gardens program celebrates art with local artists, the local and national artists that come to us every year. We're supported through sales of their work, which also support those artists. We're great advocates for our arts community. The place in a whole is a great resource for the community. We also celebrate our Garden Glow this year. Garden Glow is, I think it's our 15th year of Garden Glow. It is a celebration of illuminated sculpture. It looks like a big fall festival, but everything we do has a bit of a stealth art aspect to it. We bring in usually 14 sculptors. We have live music, another celebration of art, and a wonderful celebration of food as well. So Garden Glow is the perennial favorite. It sells out immediately. Members get first option at tickets.
Ladew is special to me. It's so much part of the community. The folks that I know who contribute to it with passion, because there's something about this place that is meditative, and it's therapeutic.
There are opportunities for people to volunteer at Ladew, to join Ladew, to celebrate our events with us at Ladew. We are a Harford County destination, and we're delighted to have the support of the county and certainly the support of the Harford County Cultural Arts Board.
I'm just happy to have my work here and be doing this.
Look for a special Shine a Light feature during every Kaleidoscope program. When we return, author D.A. Jennings will be here. Stay tuned. Author, poet, storyteller, and educator Debbie Jennings, known to her readers as D.A. Jennings, has earned praise for her award-winning books that inspire readers of all ages. A member of the Harford Writers Group and creative writing instructor at Harford Community College, Debbie is here to share her passion for storytelling and her creative process. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Author, I should say.
Yes.
All right, so when did you begin this journey as a writer, and what inspired you to become a writer?
Well, my journey actually started after I retired from Aberdeen Proving Ground.
Oh.
I was in a dentist office, picked up a Smithsonian magazine, and started reading this article about a boxer I had never heard about. Now, that was unusual for me because I used to sit at my grandfather's knee watching boxing, even though it was a sport that made me a little queasy.
No, I remember those days too.
Oh, yes. Well, the boxer's name was Gene Tunney, depending on where you come from. And he was not only a very good boxer who beat Jack Dempsey twice, but he was also quite a literary item himself. He was friends with literary writers. He wrote his own books. And so I asked the dentist, can I take this book home? And he said yes. So I looked at it again, and then when I was at home, I just started writing about him. And I realized when I finished writing about him that I had not mentioned his name nor his sport. And I thought, oh, this could be a book. So I compiled a list of 68 American athletes, and I got their names from ESPN, the top 200 American athletes of all time. But those that I selected had to have overcome some type of obstacle to get at the top of their game.
Oh, really?
A one-handed baseball player, a one-legged wrestler, people who had overcome the barriers of gender, race, identity as female, male. And I thought, these people have really had to work extra hard to get where they're at. And so I wrote verse about all of them, and American Sports Legends was born.
Oh, my heavens.
And it's a fun trivia book, and it creates a lot of competition among sports trivia experts.
I bet I'm going to have to get a copy. That does sounds fascinating. So, all right, so that was your first book.
Yes.
Meant for adults.
Correct.
But then your career took a slight, you started to specialize in another type of writing.
Well, there was one quick book
okay.
first that was called 100 Lives, and that was another type of book. But then after that book, a complete turnaround of where my focus was. It happened when my daughter came home one day and she goes, Mom, writing for adults is fine, but you're going to be a Mimi, so you have to change to children's books. And I didn't even give it a second thought. I thought, of course, I want to be a part of my grandchildren's lives. And so I wrote my first book, Seize the Cheese, about a little mischievous mouse, and it was published before my first grandchild was born. And I would go with my daughter to her sonogram appointments and read to her stomach, because I wanted my grandson to hear my voice and know me and love the rhythm of words in books.
Oh, how lovely. And does he, he's what, 8 now, you
He's
said?
8 now, yes.
Wow.
And he's enjoying his reading as well as his younger brother, and we've got another granddaughter from another daughter who is an avid reader. She's only not quite 3 yet.
Yeah.
And we've got a little one that we're going to bring around just like everybody else.
Terrific. And then you work with an illustrator, correct?
Yes. My first books were done exclusively by my daughter, who is an
how
amazing
nice.
artist.
Yeah.
But then she got married, had the babies, and I found another artist in New York who was able to work very hard to capture the essence of my characters that she had helped me develop.
All right, so you do this obviously so children love reading, that they learn lessons from your books, but then you also have expanded this to the community at large. You do a lot of work here within the community. I'd love for you to talk a little bit about that.
Oh, and I'd love to talk about it. For me, it really does take a village. I write these books, and I am so blessed to be able to go into schools and daycare centers and events and share my books. But there are so many untapped resources in this community that we can work with. And if I may just list a few of my partners, I have been able to partner with the Abingdon Elks Lodge, who have sponsored books specifically for students in Title I schools.
Okay.
The same with the Aberdeen Lions Club. I got started with the Joppatown Lions Club, which was so frightening for me. It's one thing to write, one thing to sell your books, but it's another thing to go ask for money. And I just was so timid. I mean, I was really shaking to ask them for money. And when they turned around and said, yes, take this money, buy books, it was like, oh, wow.
Terrific.
So they started me on this journey. I have had the opportunity to work with the Maryland State's Art Council. They have graciously donated to 2 of my books being published.
Terrific.
I've worked with a group called the State of Maryland Literary Association, both at the state level and at the local level.
Wow.
And I was able to partner with the Department of Natural Resources here in Maryland, and we got together and we planned an entire event for the students at the Maryland School for the Blind.
And that was an incredible event.
It was amazing. Some people, like me, might think that everybody who is there is blind, but they are not. Some are totally blind, others have increments of vision impairment, and there are some students there with other concerns.
Yeah.
But they hosted us. They wrote some of my book, The Tapping Stick. They translated it into Braille, and it was given to the students. The Department of Natural Resources brought in samples, big samples of wooden slices from the trees, of the leaves, of the nuts. And
it
the
really
children,
does take a village, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. And it was a wonderful experience
That's
for these
terrific.
children because they got to touch everything and feel everything. And then as part of the book, my husband also put in sounds of the animals that were in the books.
Really?
So they could hear
Takes
that.
a husband, too.
Oh, you bet. He's my secret
Right,
weapon.
now, you have some events coming up this fall. I'd
Yes,
love for
I
you to
do.
talk about those.
I would love to. Coming up this fall, I'm going to be doing a mini 2-hour session at Bel Air Library.
Okay.
And it is free. And I'm going to talk just a little bit about my journey, but I want to really focus on the people who come because everybody has a story to tell.
See.
Now, some stories, they want to get out there. Some stories, it's just for themselves. But it's a great time to just start a little community coming up.
Okay.
Now, it's going to be in September. And then later in September, we're going to be doing the first public reading of my latest book called Kip and the Land Pirates.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hosted by Harford Community College.
Terrific. Well, you have a website, and you have, I mean, there is a list of books. You have been so busy writing, and I know you work with people of all ages, not just write for kids, but you help people who want to maybe, as you say, tell their own story. So we thank you so much for taking a little bit of your time
Thank you
to
so
come
much.
here. Oh, thanks so much, Debbie.
Appreciate it.
All right, well, there is more to come on Kaleidoscope, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. As the government-appointed local arts agency, the Harford County Cultural Arts Board is the primary local resource for arts organizations, for artists, and for you, our county residents. The board's mission is to preserve, enhance, and promote the culture of Harford County, Maryland. The Harford County Cultural Arts Board invites you to visit our newest community art exhibit, The Art of Healing, opening June 12th at the Bel Air Public Library. We are proud to partner with the Harford County Public Library, Ashley Addiction Treatment, and the Harford Artists Association on this program. The works of local and regional artists who responded to an open call for art will be on display, presenting a mix of both visual and literary works that respond to the theme of healing and recovery. For more information, visit culturalartsboard.org. We are also excited to announce that fiscal year 27 grant applications are now available. Our slate of grants support ongoing access to arts and cultural programs for Harford County residents and ensure Harford's arts community remains vibrant and strong. Guidelines are available on our website for our 3 grant programs: General Operating Support Grants for arts organizations, Arts Programming Grants, and Access Arts Grants. Application for General Operating Support and Arts Programming Grants are due on Friday, June 26th. Access Arts Grants feature rolling deadlines, the first of which is on June 15th. To apply, visit culturalartsboard.org. For questions or application support, contact Meg McReynolds, Harford County Cultural Arts Board Coordinator. And that wraps up today's program. Thank you for watching Kaleidoscope, produced in partnership with the Cultural Arts Board of Harford County and aired exclusively on Harford TV. We hope you'll continue to tune in to Harford County's Arts Connection. For Kaleidoscope, I'm Carolyn Black-Sotier.